As we discuss time and time again in the book, and will likely discuss even more so on this channel, there are so many different ways to approach pretty much any situation in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But one, if not the most important item in these games is the Paraglider. And apart from being the only mandatory tool, especially in Breath of the Wild, it's hands down the one that we use the most. What's up, everyone? My name's Athena, and I'm here to talk about another life-changing lesson we can learn from The Legend of Zelda. In this video, we're going to focus on the Paraglider. Now, in order to really understand the Paraglider's role in-game and also what it can teach us out of game, we actually need to turn our sights to another element, the fog. When we first look over the edge of the Great Plateau at the start of the game, we notice that there's a thick fog that surrounds the perimeter. While we can kind of see in the distance, the ground below us is fogged out, and at this point in the game, we don't have the stamina to climb down, and any real attempt to get down results in a good old plummet. And it's not just at the Great Plateau either. As I continued the game, I realized that if you look over the cliffs located at the top of the map, say in the Hebra or Tabantha regions, you'll see the same fog. And it has a similar setup like in the Great Plateau before you get the Paraglider. You can't climb down, and there's nothing to allow you to regain your energy. Even with a bunch of potions and maxed out stamina, something that you couldn't do in your initial time in the Great Plateau, the game prevents you from going any further when you reach a certain point. And this got me thinking about what the fog actually means. As an in-game tool, the fog represents any situation where in that moment, jumping down or descending will kill you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that fog equals death no matter what, but that in Link's current state, no death could be more certain, as the old man warned. Basically, what this means is that Link is lacking something, an object or knowledge or experience that will allow him to reach the inaccessible region. We're going to be facing a lot of our own fogs throughout our lives, whether we're talking personally or professionally. Moments where we can continue or progress without acquiring something, again, an item or a bit of new knowledge or even help from someone. And that's where the Paraglider comes in. Like I said in the beginning of this video, it's one of the most used items in both games. The very first thing we should know is that as soon as we're in possession of it, the fog disappears right off the edge of the Great Plateau. And you don't even have to jump off the edge for that to happen. In Tears of the Kingdom, we see a literal parting reveal of the new land when Link gives up the rotted and broken Master Sword to Zelda back in time. Now, obviously, we're in the sky in that game, so they're actually clouds, but the representation is all the same. Trying to jump from the Sky Islands without the Paraglider is not going to end well for poor Link. The Paraglider in both instances provides Link with three things: access, transition, and cushion. With the Paraglider in hand, the first thing Link is granted is access to new regions and territories. The very first in both games is access to Hyrule Kingdom. In fact, there are some locations that are only accessible by using the Paraglider, although I'm pretty sure that someone could figure something out. One of these places is the Ha-Dahamar Shrine in Breath of the Wild. This shrine is surrounded by thorns, and while normally they would just disintegrate with fire, these thorns are partially submerged in water, making it impossible to burn them. But by jumping off a nearby cliff, Link can use the Paraglider to glide over the thorns right to the entrance of the shrine. Along with access, the Paraglider comes with the benefit of transition. It quite literally grants Link passage off the Great Plateau and the Sky Islands onto the soil of Hyrule Kingdom. Access and transition definitely go together, and an easy way to distinguish them is by thinking in terms of a locked door. We need to pass through the door to get to wherever we need to go, but the door is locked. That's the fog. It's preventing us from opening the door. The Paraglider is the key. Access is the unlocking of the door, and transition is the act of opening and walking through it. Finally, the Paraglider provides Link with a cushion because it acts as a much-needed safety net for some of maybe his most silly mistakes. Maybe we have our bow drawn for way too long and we run out of stamina. Or we accidentally walk off a tower while we're scoping out some monsters through the Sheikah Slate or the Purapad. In all of these instances, we have one opportunity to deploy our paraglider for just about 1 second to break our fall. Okay, so all of that is great, but what does that have to do with us? The paraglider is anything we acquire that unlocks or unfogs a once blocked path. It can be an item, knowledge, or even help from someone. For example, learning how to run ads for your business is a paraglider. Getting a screen printing machine when you want to sell your own screen printed shirts, that's a paraglider. Constantly investing in our growth gives us the same benefits as Link's paraglider. It opens up new opportunities, it ushers us from one point to the next, and at times, it can even afford us a little bit of extra time to think of solutions. Now, the concept of a paraglider isn't new to the series. In Skyward Sword, the sailcloth is a crucial item to have in order to descend to the surface from Skyloft. It also offered safe deceleration when Link would ride a gust of air upward. In Wind Waker, Link needed to use the Deku Leaf in order to get to the Forest Temple. Once again, The Legend of Zelda proves that it's way more than just a video game. But of course, we as fans already knew that. The paraglider is undoubtedly one of the most important and versatile items that Link can have, and it can be for us as well. The next time you're accompanying Link as he glides across Hyrule or descends into the depths, I'd like you to think about a few questions. Has there ever been a time that you faced your own fog? A situation where you just couldn't progress or move forward because you were missing something? How did you feel? And what exactly did you need to gain? What about now? Whether you're actively pursuing something or you're thinking about a personal situation, is there something that you can use that could help you? Maybe it's a new skill, or maybe it's perfecting a skill that you already have. Could it be advice from a friend or a mentor? Whatever the case may be, it's important that we learn from Link and we identify what areas are fogged. And what's the paraglider we're going to need in order to unfog those territories and get to them safely? Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. If you like this, please check out the rest of our channel. And if you really want to support, don't hesitate to head over to alinktosuccess.com and grab yourself a copy of our book. Thank you so much, and remember, may the light illuminate your path.